cloud computing. So before going to discuss about cloud computing demo, first of all, you have to understand what is physical operating systems, physical infrastructure. First, you have to understand. Then only we can think about cloud. For example, you have a laptop that is physical hardware. Top of that, you install. Go to mute. Somebody is not in mute. So first, physical laptop. This is physical hardware. Top of that, install Windows. Okay. So like we have, because in cloud computing, you are going to launch Linux servers and Windows servers. First, you have to know about the servers. We have two types of operating systems. One is Windows, next Linux. First, I will explain about Windows. In Windows, it is a graphical user interface. In Windows, we have two types of operating systems, client and servers. So server operating systems in Windows are 2019, 16, 12. These are the versions. Why I am explaining this? So as a cloud administrator, so you are going to launch the Windows servers. So you have to know about the server. Naresh Reddy, your audio is not connected. Naresh Reddy. Just a minute. See, my voice is clear for everybody. My voice is clear. Okay. So Windows servers. Because as a cloud administrator, you are going to launch the Windows servers. You have to know what is server, what is client. So servers provide resources to clients. Clients access the resources from servers. Like Windows, we have another operating system is there. That is Linux, Unix or Linux. So both are same. Linux is a flavor of Unix. In Linux, again, we have number of flavors are there. Red Hat Enterprise Linux, Oracle Enterprise Linux, Ubuntu Linux servers, CentOS servers, Fedora Linux, SUSE Linux, Debian Linux, Kali Linux. Like that, we are going to launch the servers in cloud environment. First, we have to remember. So first, we have a physical infrastructure, physical servers. Top of the physical servers, they are going to implement the virtualization. So I am explaining point to point. For example, so we have Windows servers and Linux servers. I have a single physical computer. This is my laptop. So whenever you install any OS, so you can take CD or DVD of Linux or Windows, you can install in your laptop. That is single OS. So this is my single physical computer. But the top of this computer, my Windows operating system, I installed 10 operating systems. So how it is possible? So on single physical computer, I installed 10 Linux systems. How it is possible means because of virtualization. So I have a VMware workstation software is there. See, top of this VMware workstation. So I have installed this much of servers. RHL6, 9 AM batch, 10 AM batch, 11 AM batch, 12 PM batch, 4 PM batch, 6 PM batch, 8 PM batch. See, number of Linux servers I installed. So depending upon my classes, morning to evening, I have 10 batches for Linux. So 9 AM batch, I will power on that. 10 AM, 11 AM, 12 PM, afternoon 4 o'clock batch. Like that, number of Linux operating system I am going to install.
Hello.
Yeah, tell me, Amit sir.
Good morning, sir. Good
Good
afternoon.
morning.
Hello.
Good afternoon. Tell me, Mr.
Sir, this is demo class, sir.
This is demo class on cloud. This is
Okay.
demo class. Okay.
Okay.
Before
No,
going
no,
to
no.
know
I am
about
thinking
the
that. Okay.
before going to know about the cloud computing, first of all, you have to understand what are the physical
Okay.
servers, what is the virtualization. Top of the virtualization is cloud implemented. Without a virtualization, no cloud.
Okay.
So yeah, that knowledge nobody is giving to students. So if there is no virtualization, no cloud.
Okay.
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 Top of the
Okay.
virtualization, cloud implements. So top of the cloud, what you are doing, whatever the machines I created, you are launching. That is cloud computing. Okay. Now enter into
Okay.
the cloud. Now enter into the cloud now.
What do you mean by virtualization?
So virtualization is a technology to share your physical hardware to multiple machines. So for example, go to your task manager. So CPU utilization 30% only utilizing, memory is 26% only utilizing. What about remaining resources? Wasting the resources. So wasting the resources are nothing but the wasting the money. So I spent 30,000 rupees for buying my laptop, but I am utilizing 25% only. Remaining 75% is wasting. So wasting the resources is nothing but wasting the money. That is the reason virtualization is introduced. In virtualization, you can utilize complete resources because I can have number of machines here. So I can power on these machines. Whatever my unused resources are there, these machines can utilize. So I can power on. I have 8 GB RAM. 1, 2, 3 machine, 4 machines I can power on like this. So select the machine. I can power on this machine. Now the Linux is booting. So it will utilize my physical resource 2 GB RAM it will utilize. Like that I can power on 4 machines. Depending upon your hardware capacity, you can power on the machine. That is virtualization. So top of this virtualization only cloud is implemented, whether it is AWS cloud, Google cloud, whatever it may be, any cloud computing, top of the virtualization only cloud is implemented.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, sir. This is mandatory for installing the VMware software. This is mandatory
For what? For what?
for virtualization for
So virtualization we are not
software.
going to. I am giving example for that.
Okay. Okay. Sir. Okay.
So already AWS people, Azure
They build.
people, they have their physical servers, they have virtualization. Top of that, they implemented cloud. That cloud we are using.
Okay. Sir. Okay.
Understand? So in interview, they will
Yeah.
ask the question where the cloud is implemented. They will ask the question in interview. So what answer you can give? The cloud implemented on virtualization. So where the virtualization is implemented on physical servers only. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Sir.
Now coming to why cloud computing. Why cloud computing? To understand why cloud, you have to understand the existent data centers. So existent data centers means physical data centers. Before cloud computing, cloud came into 2006 year. Before cloud computing, we have
And
physical
it means
data
that
center.
we are using you are saying that physical data cloud means it is that before the cloud we are using this is existence one, no? This is
Before
VMware
the
data.
cloud, we have physical systems only, physical data
Oh,
centers.
okay.
Okay.
Okay. So actually,
Uh,
I am a non-native background person, so that's
no,
why I
no
am asking.
problem. No
Okay.
problem. I will explain each and everything. That is the reason. So who
Okay.
don't have understand about the IT? So that is the reason.
Okay.
Physical computers, virtualization, top of the virtualization, cloud is there.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Now see. So why cloud computing? To understand why cloud, so we have to understand the existence data centers before cloud. So before cloud computing, for example, I want to start one organization. I want to develop my software. Whatever the applications I want to develop, I need to develop the softwares. I need to host my websites. So what I required, I need to buy a group of servers. So I have to manage the networking. I have to manage and monitoring servers. Everything I have to manage physically. Physically, I have to buy the servers. Physically, I have to recruit the whatever the staff is there, I have to require the staff. So monitoring, sir, for that we need networking. So CCNA, CCNP people I have to appoint. Storage area network or network attached storage. Servers I have to buy. So Dell hardware, HP hardware, IBM hardware, whatever it may be. Virtualization. So just now I explained you. Why I explained you? So this is the topic is this. Virtualization, VMware or Citrix Zen servers we have to install. Top of that we installed Linux or Windows servers. Top of that you are going to install middleware applications. Top of that runtime Java, C++ programming. So top of that databases. Top of that application we are going to install. So this is everything you have to manage physically. But what are the disadvantages of physical data centers? So you have to invest a lot of money. Just now I explained you. So I bought a 30,000 rupees laptop, but I am utilizing only this much of memory only. So remaining resources are wasting. So I powered on one virtual machine. That is my CPU utilization is increased. So I can through virtualization I can use my complete resources. So wasting the resources. So you have to invest a lot of money. It is going to be expensive. And troubleshooting problems. The troubleshooting problems can impact our business goals. Scale up and scale down is also a problem. For example, I have 8 GB RAM is there. Immediately I want to increase my RAM to 16 GB. Is it possible? It is not possible. So immediately I cannot scale up. So I don't want 16 GB RAM. Immediately I want to get back to 8 GB. It is not possible. So if I want to increase my RAM, I have to go to the market. I have to buy the RAM. I have to set the RAM. So it will take time. That is also a problem in physical environment. So I have a database server. I have a web server. So many hits are coming to my web server. So one server is cannot getting that much of request. So server load is heavy. So I can buy a new server. I can balance the load. That is also immediately not possible. So the amount of data, how much is storing, how much data now you are having, future, how much data you are going to growing, we cannot understand in physical environment. For example, if you have 5 servers, when the traffic is high, so the complete resources can utilize. Resources means just now I showed you CPU resources and memory resources. But when the traffic is low, some resources are going to be idle, but you have to pay the same cost. For example, a simple example I will explain. There is a flipkart.com is there. This is a website, flipkart.com. So they have their own servers. So every Wednesday, they are going to give the discount offers. On that particular day, so many customers, they are going to be access their application. So in that scenarios, one server cannot having that much of capacity to send the request to all the clients, customers. That is the reason they can manage number of servers. Only Wednesday. So apart from Wednesday, remaining days, the server capacity is going to be low. But they have to buy the servers, 10 servers. Only Wednesday, only the 10 servers can share the resources. So except Wednesday, remaining days, only 1 or 2 servers are going to be work. So that is also, their resources are going to be idle. That is also wasting the money. But what we are going to do now, we are going to enter into the cloud computing. Nowadays, we are getting everything online. Online food offering, online shoppings, online reservations, and online documentation. So this is called digital data. So when you need storage, you need more space. So cost plus monitoring plus maintaining, everything managed by the cloud. Now what is cloud computing? So simple question they will ask in interview, what is cloud computing? Accessing the resources means compute resources, storage resources, network resources, media services, and databases, whatever it may be, what you want to get, you can get from the internet, called cloud computing. Through internet, without internet, no cloud. So accessing the resources from internet is called cloud computing. Remember that point. So for example, you have a Gmail account is there. I have a Gmail account is there. Somebody else, they are having a Gmail account. Where your Gmail account is located, your Gmail is not in your computer. Your Gmail is located in somewhere. You don't know where it is located also. That is cloud. So in cloud, I can launch the servers. I can configure databases, everything, network, everything, but not in my place. They are in the cloud. So how can you access? Through internet only. So if there is no internet connection, you cannot access your Gmail account. I cannot access my Gmail account. So through internet connection only, you are logged into your Gmail account. I am logged into my Gmail account. Like that, cloud computing also, through internet, I can launch the server. I can launch the storage. I can configure network. I can configure databases. So everything managed by the cloud. So you can store your data applications on remote servers, not in your premises, remote locations. So you can process your data or applications from remote servers, access your resources via internet. So everything, whatever the resources, compute resources, storage resources, network resources, media services, and databases, through internet, we are going to access. Now, benefits of cloud computing. If you want any IT resource, you can get immediately. What you require, you can get in minutes. No need to buy any hardware and software. Simple example I will tell. Now, immediately, I want to get Linux server. Immediately, within 5 minutes. Generally, it is not possible because I have to buy the desktop or laptop, and I have to take the software of Linux CD or DVD, and I have to know the installation process of Linux, and then I can able to install the Linux server. But now through cloud, immediately within 5 minutes, I am going to launch my Linux server. You can see practically. So go to your cloud account, AWS Management Console, log into your cloud account. We have to create like Gmail account. How we created? We can create the AWS Management Console account. So log into your cloud. Within 5 minutes, I want to launch my Linux server, Windows server, whatever it may be, you can launch. So log into your account. So I'm logged into my account. Go to instances. This is in depth we are going to discuss in our classes. I have to give the notes about each and everything. But example purpose, I'm showing you running instances. So here, launch instance. See here, Linux servers are there. Just now I explained Red Hat Linux, SUSE Linux, Ubuntu Linux servers, Microsoft Windows servers. So just now I explained you before that. So as a cloud administrator, you are going to launch the servers. So select one Linux server. So configure instant details, add storage, add tags, configure security group. It is in depth. I will give the notes. This is for example purpose. I am showing you. Select the key, launch instance. See, my Linux server is ready. So I am not buying any hardware here. I am not buying any software here. I don't know the installation of Linux, but my Linux server is ready. So here I can give the name Linux server. See, server is ready. It is going to be running state. See, less than 2 minutes only we are launched instance. I am not buying any hardware. I am not buying any software. So now my server is running. So here there is a public IP. So copy your public IP, go to your laptop, download Putty software. So paste the IP address, Linux server IP address, select the key. Now I am launching Linux server. See, yes, right click. I am changing the appearance, font size. Select the font. Okay. Now see, EC2 hyper user. sudo space. My Linux is ready. Now I can create files. So touch A, B, B, C, C, D, D. I can create the users, user add, Nivas. See, immediately my Linux server is ready. Like that, I can launch the Windows server.
This user EC2 user, like you created user in the Linux,
No,
or
no.
they will
EC2
provide that?
iPhone, EC2 iPhone user is the default user account to log into the Linux instances.
Oh, okay.
For Windows servers, we have to use the administrator account. For Linux, we have to use EC2-user default account. That is already created by them only. So from there, I logged into the administrator account, sudo space su, super user. So this is the administrator prompt. See here, hash prompt is nothing but administrator. Dollar prompt is nothing but a normal user. Okay, that is Linux servers. So like that, you can launch Windows servers also. Immediately, what you require, for example, I want to require Windows server with SQL server. I can launch instance. For example, I'm telling you, Microsoft Windows Server with the SQL Server 2017. By default, with configuration servers, we can launch. So what you require, you can launch immediately. That is deep learning. So whatever it may be. So I want to launch Linux with Ansible. I want to launch Linux with Docker. I can launch instances. So what you require, immediately you can launch. That is,
Sir.
yeah, tell me.
And sir, this now we installed EC2, no? EC2 through by Linux, na?
Yeah.
In that, see, if you use that Linux in 1 month or 15 days, then
Yeah.
how they will know we are using that? They will charge, or it is free of cost?
See, by default, that is in our classes. I will explain, but you asked a question. I am explaining you. By default, when you create an account, that is 1 year free. So I created an AWS account that is 1 year free. So every month, 750 hours you can use free of cost, any instance.
That and all we can identify, we can check it whether 750 hours is within the 750 hours or over the 750 hours. We can check it.
So you can go through your billing. So my billing dashboard here, see, my billing dashboard. Here you can check whether you are chargeable, or sometimes some services are chargeable. So I will in my classes I will explain which are chargeable, which are not. See, $0.74 cents they charged me. For S3 storage they charged 1 cent. So like that you can check. See, these are the free of cost. Top free tier services by usage. So Amazon EC2 750 hours per month of Amazon EC2 Windows T2.micro or T3.micro instances depending upon the region. That is free of cost. So if you cross this limit, they will charge. Every month, 750 hours. So what we are going to do, once I completed my practice, for example, today I launched my Linux instance, I completed my practice. So after completing that, what we have to do, we have to terminate them. So then they are not count the minutes. See, previous classes I terminated. Now new Linux instance I launched. So I am terminating it. Just for your understanding purpose, I launched. I am terminating. Tomorrow when my class will start, then I can launch again. So like this, see how to work. Everything I will explain in my coming classes. Okay, like this. So no need to buy any hardware and software. They are available ready-made. Just now we seen. So just we went to our AWS management console. We logged into the console. We launched the instances. Depending upon your requirements, you can scale up and scale down the resources. For example, I launched one Linux instance. By default space, they will give 8 GB. So I want to add 100 GB. I can add immediately. So depending upon your requirements, you can scale up and scale down the resources. You can access the data from anywhere, like Gmail account. So from anywhere in the world, you can access your Gmail. Like cloud also, wherever you are, you can access your cloud. Your data is stored in a secure location. In cloud computing, how much resources you use, that much money only have to pay. So free tier eligible already is there, but what are the chargeable resources are there? That is also depending upon how much resources, how much time utilized. 1 hour, billing hour is 1 hour. You can pay the money. Take the services for rent as much as you utilize. You can take compute resources and storage services and networking services for rent. For example, we are going to internet centers. In earlier days, we are having internet centers. Nowadays also we are having. So you are going to internet center. For 1 hour or 2 hours, you are accessing your internet. You are paying 20 rupees or 30 rupees. That space is not for us. That resources are not for us. That furniture is not for us. That internet connection is also not for us. But utilizing that resources, you are paying the money. So like in cloud computing also, whatever the resources are utilizing, you have to pay the money. So that is cloud computing. Now come into the service models. So which service models they are providing? Infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. So whatever requirement, you can take rent. So for example, I want to take the rent of infrastructure as a service. So what is infrastructure as a service? You created one application, but you only the person manage the application, but you need infrastructure. The cloud people will provide you basic resources like network, storage, and servers. So you have to take rent for network, storage, and servers. But you have to manage your own application, everything you have to manage. But infrastructure only you can take rent. So platform as a service. So in this model, cloud people provide the platform as a service. So you developed one code, you created one application, you want to deploy it, but you don't want to use your own platform. So then you can get the platform from the cloud. So they can deploy your application. You can save the time. Next to software as a service. So cloud providers leases applications or softwares which are owned by them as your requirements. For example, I started one departmental store. So I have to manage all the what are the groceries are there. I need some software. So I have to communicate to the cloud people. So my business is like this. I need this type of software. So they will develop the software. I can utilize the software. So every month I have to pay the rent. I don't want to buy any servers. I don't want to manage any applications. Everything managed by cloud. For that, best example is Gmail account. So we are sending and receiving mails through Gmail account. So we are using the resources when you required. So, but you are not thinking about how the mail is going to another. See, every day we are using Gmail accounts. You are sending mails, you are receiving mails. How the mail is going to other system, how the mail is coming to my mail account, we are not thinking about. So who is thinking about that? Who is managing the Gmail servers? Google will people, they are managing the Gmail servers. So they are going to take care about that. So what you want to buy, you can buy. So free tier eligible, free of cost you can use. So to buy the servers, you can buy the servers for rent, for monthly, hourly, depending upon which softwares you are going to utilize. So you have to pay the money. So now this is service models. Just now explained you on premises. We have to manage everything, blue color. Networking, we have to manage storage, servers, virtualization, OS, middleware, runtime, database, applications. Infrastructure as a service, orange color, they have to manage. Networking they will provide, storage they will provide, hardware they will provide, virtualization they will provide. So we have to choose the operating system, middleware applications, runtime, database, applications, you have to manage. Platform as a service, up to runtime they will manage. Just you have to manage your database and applications. Software as a service, everything managed by them. Like depending upon our organization requirements, they can take some servers infrastructure as a service, depending upon requirement platform as a service, depending upon the requirement software as a service. So this is service models. Now deployment models.
Or on-premises.
Deployment model means public cloud.
Oh,
Yeah, tell
sir,
me.
And next, on-premises means
What is that?
on-premises.
On premises means you have to manage everything. So we have to buy everything. On premises means you have to buy the servers, you have to take the networking, you have to buy the storage, you have to buy the virtualization software, you have to install the operating system, you have to install the databases, you have to install the Java, C++, managing the database, everything managed by you.
And this role is applicable by this network administrator or what? Who will do this kind of things on-premises and all works?
On premises means
And what is the role of this?
collection of on premises servers. For example, you have the organization is there. Okay, you have the organization is there. For example, Infosys company, who is managing servers?
They will only manage.
That is on premises. For that, what they will do? They are going to appointment network engineers. They have to appointment storage administrators. They have to appointment Linux administrator, Windows administrator, VMware administrators. They have to appointment middleware application administrators. They have to appointment developers, Java programmers, C++ programmers. They have to appointment database administrators. They have to appointment application administrators. Understand? So Infosys people, there is a Linux administrator job in Infosys. Why? They are maintaining their servers. So they will manage. Organization can manage everything that is on premises. Cloud, when you go for cloud, cloud will manage that one. You can take rent. Understand?
Okay, so okay. It depends upon the costing, no, sir. Here, these divided these sections, costing.
Depending upon your requirement. So this is
And costing.
earlier days when there is no cloud. Maximum all companies they are going to manage on-premises servers only. When the cloud came, so they are going for the cloud. So every company they are thinking about cloud because of reducing the cost cutting. So how much
Yes.
resources they are utilizing that much of money only they are paying. Okay, unnecessarily they are going to manage much of staff also. Everything managed by the cloud people. Okay, next, what is public cloud? A public cloud is a type of computing in which a service provider makes resources available to the public via the internet. Some public cloud providers offers resources for free, while clients pay for other resources by subscription on pay-per usage model. For example, public cloud best example is Gmail account. So go to Gmail account, I will show you. This is free of cost only. So this is my Gmail, free of cost I am utilizing. So go to your Gmail Drive, Google Drive. Everybody knows Google Drive. So how much space they are giving free of cost? 15 GB they are giving free of cost. So remaining, so 15 GB free of cost. 15 GB of the data you can upload into your Gmail Google Drive. Now, if you want to get more space, you can buy storage. So click on buy storage. So 15 GB free, public cloud. 15 GB they are providing free of cost for all of us. But if you want to get more space, you have to buy 100 GB per month. You have to pay 130 rupees. 200 GB per month. You have to pay 210 rupees. So public cloud also up to somewhat they are going to provide the free tier eligible only. If you want to cross whatever the free tiers they are giving, you have to pay the money. This is public cloud. Everybody, you are accessing Gmail, I am accessing Gmail. You can have 15 GB free space, I can have 15 GB free space. If I want to use more space, I can buy. Next, private cloud. So the private cloud is defined as computing services offered either over the internet or a private internal network. So your organization have your private internal network, every organization, and only to select users instead of general public. So private clouds requires the same staffing, management, and maintains everything you have to manage. Just now I explained on premises. For example, I am accessing Infosys site www.infosys.com. Infosys.com. So this is you can access, I can access, everybody can access. So this is public, everybody can access. But Infosys organization, they can have their internal private servers are there. So Infosys employees only they can access that servers. That is called private cloud. So only you can have Infosys staff only. So you are the Infosys employee, for example. Every day you are going to your company, you are logging to your server. So I cannot log in your server because that is confidential. That is the passwords, user authentications, everything. As a employee, you can access your private servers. So others public servers, we cannot access that private servers. That is private cloud. So that internal network you have to manage. Next, hybrid cloud. So Infosys has public servers are there, private servers are there. But this public and private servers should be communicate because my developers are developing some websites. Those are going to be hosted on the public only. So what we are going to do, they can go for the hybrid cloud. So hybrid cloud is a solution that combines a private cloud with one or more public cloud services with proprietary software. They have to develop their own software to communicate their public servers and private servers. So to communicate between the private clouds and public clouds, so we are going to use the hybrid clouds. This is public, private, hybrid. So cloud computing, deployment model, public, private, hybrid cloud, service models, IaaS, PaaS, SaaS. Now you can think about the cloud providers. Who is providing cloud computing? AWS. So 2006 it is established. It is a very popular and experienced in cloud. So many companies they are using the services. AWS server capacity is about 6 times larger than the next 12 competitors. So Netflix, everybody knows, a world's largest media company, all their infrastructure and everything on AWS cloud only. Expedia, the most popular travel booking company, so their servers and everything infrastructure established on AWS cloud only. The next place goes to the Azure. So Microsoft Azure introduced in 2010, they are entering into the cloud environment. They are occupying the next place after AWS. GCP, Google Cloud Platform, it is in the third place. So AWS server capacity is about 6 times larger than the next 12 competitors. So that is the main, the cloud leader still AWS only. And AWS global infrastructure, you can check. Go to Google, AWS global infrastructure. Worldwide, how their network is there, we are going to see. See, 24 launched regions are there. Region is nothing but a particular geographical location. 80 availability zones are nothing but data centers. Now see worldwide. So they can have this network. Canada Central, 3 data centers are there. AWS Go Cloud US East, 3 data centers are there. Oregon, 4 data availability zone is nothing but a data center. It's like Europe, 3 zones are there. London, 3 availability zones. Ireland, 3 availability zones. Now coming to Asia Pacific, we have Mumbai region. 2016 only they launched. So 3 availability zones are there. Now orange color coming soon. Now see Hyderabad coming soon. So maybe within 3 or 4 months after this COVID effect, they are going to be launching 3 data centers in Hyderabad, big data centers. So almost they invested 20,000 crore rupees for managing the data centers in Hyderabad. So coming soon, maybe 3 or 4 months, they are going to launch new availability zones in Hyderabad. 3 data centers they are going to launch. One is in High Tech City, one is in Fab City, one is in Rangareddy district. So these are the coming soon. Melbourne coming soon. Like orange color are coming soon. Spain coming soon.
So Bangalore is not there, no?
Bangalore is not there. So only Mumbai. So up to now Mumbai only. Now they are going to launch in Hyderabad. See, whenever you log into your account, I will show you. Sign into the console. So now see left side, you can see I am in Mumbai region. So I can select any region. I can work on any US East, North Virginia. Just now I showed you Ohio, North California, Oregon, Cape Town, Hong Kong, Mumbai, Osaka, Seoul, Singapore, Sydney, Asia Pacific, Canada Central, Europe, Frankfurt, Ireland, London, Milan, Paris, Stockholm. Now, within 3 or 4 months, we can get Hyderabad also here. So data centers they are going to launch. So when you are practicing, first you have to check you are in which region, because if you forget to, for example, accidentally I select US North Virginia region. If I launched any instance there, I forget to terminate it. So tomorrow when I log into the Mumbai region, so backend automatically it is going to be run, but you cannot aware whether it is running or not. That is the reason while practicing, first we should check we are in which region, then we can practice the services. So click on services here. So whatever the services are there, we are going to see here. So which services are they providing. So these are the two. So more than 150 services they are having. So we are going to learn. So here machine learning is there, customer blockchain is there, satellite technology, so many applications, business applications are there. So internet, IoT, internet of things are there. So what course we are going to learn? Developer tools are there, so many development tools, everything they implemented on cloud. So what we are going to learn? So we are going to learn AWS Solutions Architect Associate. Hands-on experience using compute networking storage services. Just now I explained you. And the databases also. Hands-on experience with the AWS deployment and management services. Ability to identify and define technical requirements of AWS-based applications. So technical requirements you have to understand. Knowledge of recommended best practices for building secure and reliable applications on AWS platform. Understanding the basic architecture principles of building on the AWS cloud. Understanding the global infrastructure. Just now I showed you global infrastructure. Understanding of network technologies as they relate to AWS. Understanding of security features and tools the AWS provides. This is the complete course we are going to learn. Now developer track is there. Nobody is teaching developer track. But if you want to learn the developer track, you should have in-depth knowledge of at least one high-level programming language, at least 5 to 6 years of high-level programming like Python, C, C++, Java, .NET, Node.js, whatever it may be. If you have in-depth knowledge of at least high-level programming, then you can think about developer. And also understanding of core AWS services, uses, and basics architecture best practice means this one. So if you don't understand these topics, this AWS solutions architect, you cannot learn this type of course. This course you cannot learn. So this is only throughout the India, 1 or 2 people they are charging 1 lakh rupees, 1,25,000 rupees. But if you are a developer, if you learn AWS solutions architect associate, so if you have the in-depth knowledge on the programming level language, automatically you can do all the things here because of you understand the core knowledge of AWS cloud computing. Then you yourself you can work on the developer track. So this is our cloud computing demo. So tomorrow what I will do,
Hello, sir.
tomorrow I am going to explain about what are the contents we are going to learn in AWS. Brief introduction. AWS course contents like EC2 instances, Elastic Block Storage, so Elastic IP addresses, identity and access management, S3 storage, Glacier storage, virtual private cloud, auto scalings, load balancers, cloud watches, simple notification service, Route 53, CloudFront, Elastic Beanstalk, simple queue service, so cloud formation, relational database service, DynamoDB. So one by one contents. Briefly,
Hello.
I will
Hello, sir.
explain. Yeah, tell me.
Sir, what is the difference between that cloud practitioner and solution architect? Is it both are same or
No, no, no.
cloud
I will show you.
practitioner and solution architect?
Hmm. Just a minute. This is the certification point of view. So associate type, first one, certified solutions architect associate. This course we are learning now first. So certified solutions architect professional. This is the next level. So if you have the experience 5+, 6+ on cloud, So then we can go for the next level. So next to certified developer associate. This is developer track. Certified SysOps, system operations administrator associate. So next last level is DevOps professional. So this is operational. So we are learning certified solutions architect associate. So first we have to start from here. Then you can decide where you want to go, depending upon your experience.
Okay. And actually, I have 7+ years of experience in Java technology. So
Okay.
I want to move to AWS. Is this
Okay.
I can do that, or is this a good like right time to do, or like how can
So
I change my profile in my domain?
yeah, it is right time to learn, man, because I can have so many students already who are having Java 7+, 8+ experience and Python experience students. They are learning the cloud computing. It is right time to learn the cloud.
Okay. Actually, I registered with Karim, the
Okay.
tutor. But actually, I think he got his wife got infected with COVID, so I was assigned to your tutor. So,
Yeah.
like from tomorrow onwards, there will be regular classes from 12 to 1.
Tomorrow onwards regular classes, man.
Okay. Then that link, everything you will send, right?
Yeah, they will send links to you. Tomorrow onwards regular 12 to 1, because from
Okay.
morning to morning 9, 10, 11 I have Linux classes. Again evening I have 3 or 4 AWS classes are there, but already they are in the middle of the stage. This is the new batch.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Okay.
each
And
and
what will be
everything.
the
Yeah, tell me, ma'am.
responsibilities that I need? See, I am that I learned AWS and I am a Java developer. Like, what will be the next role and responsibility? Like how my resume will look like if I put this AWS. Like,
So
because
in
I will
cloud,
not have the handling experience.
yeah, in cloud also, so you have the cloud associate knowledge is there. In cloud also we are going to deploy so many applications like Java development application, so Node, yeah, everything you can do in cloud environment. So already you
Uh,
know the Java programming. You can deploy your Java application on cloud. How to manage, how to do that one, you can. So I will show you. But there is a
okay.
option is there. So you have a
Mm,
Java code. So you want to deploy
mm,
Java code in cloud
mm,
environment, but you don't know
mm,
infrastructure. You don't know
mm,
platform. But
mm,
automatically when you deploy your Java, so it will provide infrastructure. It will provide platform. It will provide load balancer. It will configure auto scaling. So everything it will cloud will people will provide. So that is we are going
mm.
to learn everything in depth.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Just I want to know the roadmap of my thing. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Hello, sir. Hello.
you. Yeah, tell me
Yeah,
your
sir.
doubt.
Yes, sir. Myself is Chandra. So I am from non-IT background,
Okay,
but I am planning to switch over to AWS. Actually, for 5 years, 7 years experience in electrical engineering background.
electrical engineering.
Non-IT.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
non-IT.
Yes. That now I'm planning to switch over to IT side through
Okay.
AWS certification. This
So
is
you can
this is the right.
you can do one thing with AWS. You can learn Linux administration also.
Okay. Linux
See,
administration. That
either
is
see if you
practical.
have yeah, if you have a Java programmer or Python programmer, so we can learn cloud computing. Or if you have the Windows knowledge, Windows server knowledge, or Linux server administration knowledge, we can learn cloud computing. So you can go for Linux plus AWS.
Okay.
So you can put the experience in the resume. Linux administration 3+ or 4+ with cloud computing, we can put the resume. Because just now I showed you, AWS, we are going to launch the servers, Linux servers and Windows. So at least
Okay. That purpose
you
only.
have a
At least I need that knowledge.
that knowledge you required. So Linux plus AWS, we can have the parallel batches are there. So morning, evening 6 p.m. So new batch Linux will go. You can go through AWS class tomorrow onwards.
Okay. Okay.
Parallelly, you can also learn Linux also. That is better. Means your resume is very going to be. We can put the 3+ or 4+ of experience in the resume. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
You are from
So I'm from Bangalore, Karnataka.
Karnataka. Okay. Okay. You are in
Yes.
Bangalore now only.
Right now I'm in Bangalore. I'm
Okay.
basically from Raichur,
Raichur.
Karnataka.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Is there any others having any doubts? Please ask me the doubts. Chakravarti, do you have any doubts?
No, sir. No, sir.
Divya Dopate, do you have any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay. Gurpreet Bamra, any doubts are there? Naresh Reddy, see each and every topic I will explain you very clearly, properly, and also what we are going to seeing the practicals every day. I will send the step-by-step notes for you. So open the AWS management console, click on EC2 instances, click on this launch in street. Every step I will give the notes, and also whatever the topics every day we are learning, whatever the PPTs I am going to explain you. So everything I will send you, interview questions and answers on cloud computing also I will send you. So whatever the documents are there, everything I will share with you. So if you have any doubts, please ask me, anybody.
Sir, do you provide any live projects?
See, what we are going to learn, each and everything is live, means live only. So last class, after learning all the service, I will explain about the project.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
The collection of services is nothing but like one project. That is, once we learn all the services, so I can explain about the project. So this is like, this is the project, this is the project. I will explain. Okay. Is there any other doubts?
Linux,
Please ask me.
sir,
Yeah.
for Linux administrator, any for go through the initially the textbooks or books, which is the book, and tell me and share me.
Sorry.
See, for
Again,
Linux,
ask me the
you
question.
told na, sir, you told na, at least you need knowledge of Linux administrator for before joining that AWS. So how can I gain that Linux administrator knowledge? Any books are there for specific for Linux administrator?
Linux administration, you have to join the course.
Oh, there is no other option. For at least basics for reading purpose. Any idea?
So Linux you cannot understand like that. You must learn from any faculty only.
Okay.
So there is, so you cannot read the books, you cannot learn the Linux, because for example, I am having 20 years of experience. So since 2000 year, I am teaching Solaris administration, Linux administration, Windows Server administration, Windows Server administration, and VMware Server administration, then AWS cloud computing. So SAN, so storage area network, network attached storage. So this much of technologies I have the knowledge. So from our side only, how to learn Linux directly by reading the books. You cannot learn anything. It is very difficult. You cannot understand. Okay, I have the Linux batches are there going on. So you can contact to Durgasoft. Parallelly, you can go for Linux. AWS, you can go through this course tomorrow
Sir,
morning.
you only handling you are only handling that Linux administrator.
Yeah, Linux also. See, yeah, I am only handling Linux. See, this much of virtual machines are there. See, daily I am having 6 or 7 Linux batches, 3 4 AWS batches.
Okay.
So you can go to your YouTube channel, go to search, type Linux space admin demo. All my videos will come. So just now I will show you just a minute. So you can go to YouTube.
Okay.
Go to YouTube. Just you can type search. Go to search box. Type Linux admin demo. Just you can type. Doing. Everybody can check this one. So go to search box. Linux admin demo. Just to click on that Linux admin demo. See, Linux admin demo by Srinivas Ravella. So this is Linux administration demo by Srinivas. See, first out of 10, all are my demos. So Linux administration by Srinivas. See, I can have 7 batches for Linux, 3-4 batches for AWS. Okay, because of morning to evening so many batches, I am not able to take so many batches. Morning 4 hours, evening 6 hours, 10 batches I am taking. So you can go through the DurgaSoft. When the new Linux batch is going to be start, you can join that batch.
Okay, sir.
So tomorrow we are going to continue the class. Tomorrow I am going to explain the brief introduction about what are the AWS contents. I will give each and every in-depth knowledge. So what is instance, what is storage, so what is block level storage, what is object level storage. So everything one by one by contents I will explain. Then I will explain AWS architecture, introduction to AWS and AWS architecture. Then we start the course. Okay.
So same time in this.
Same time, 12 to 1.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So shell scripting is a part of scripting side. Linux administration is different. Server administration. In-depth Linux server administration, you can put the experience of 3+ or 4+ what I am teaching Linux administration. That much of knowledge you can put the experience. You can get the experience from my classes.
Okay, sir.
Okay, tomorrow we will connect. Okay. Okay, thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. So,
Thank you, madam. Thank you. Thank you all. Bye.
bye.